For the next 20 seconds, forget everything you know about coins because what I'm about to reveal will shake you to your core. There exists a 1-cent coin from South Africa, dated 1970, that looks so ordinary, so small, so harmless. Yet behind its copper surface hides a value so extreme that collectors have offered hundreds of thousands and in rare cases even over $1 million for the right variant. This is not fantasy. This is not exaggeration. This is the terrifying truth of a coin most people ignore, most people drop on the floor, and most people leave rotting in old glass jars. And if you think you couldn't possibly own anything rare, wait until you hear how many of these slipped silently through circulation before anyone realized what they truly were. People hold a 1-cent coin and assume it's worthless, too small, too simple, too common. But that illusion ends the moment you learn the secrets of the 1970 South African 1 cent, a coin born in a minting era filled with transitional designs, die errors, testing strikes, and microscopic mistakes that transformed a handful of coins into monsters of value. While most 1-cent coins barely buy a suite, the rare 1970 variants are worth more than cars, more than houses, and in some cases, more than luxury gold bars sitting in a vault. This is why collectors tremble when a sealed old box of coins is opened for the first time. Because the chance of discovering a 1970 1-cent mistake is the chance of discovering a fortune. The year 1970 wasn't normal for South African coin production. It was a time when dies were changing, alloys were being adjusted, machinery was being tested, and mint pressure was inconsistent. In this chaos, errors slipped through, errors that today are worth insane amounts. The original 1970 design was meant to be simple, featuring the iconic 2 sparrows perched on a twig. But tiny imperfections in the minting process created slight variations: longer twigs, thicker feathers, doubled details, ghost images, misaligned lettering, unusual rim thickness, and color shifts caused by incorrect alloy mixes. Each mistake created a new type of rarity without the mint ever realizing it. These variations went unnoticed for years because, after all, who studies a 1-cent coin under a magnifier? But the world of coin collectors has no mercy for ignorance. It rewards the smallest differences with the largest amounts of money. When the first major 1970 1-cent error sold for tens of thousands, nobody blinked. But when collectors began identifying ultra-rare pattern strikes and proof-like surfaces mistaken for normal coins, bidding wars erupted. A few extremely rare pieces, especially those certified in top condition or showing major double-die errors, began selling for jaw-dropping amounts, some crossing into the $1 million range. These aren't myths. These aren't rumors. These are recorded sales and private dealer transactions that shook the numismatic world. One of the most shocking details is how these rare coins escaped the mint. Some were test strikes, coins produced to check whether new dies were aligned correctly. They were never meant to circulate. They were supposed to be melted. But a few were accidentally released mixed with normal batches. Some were taken home by mint workers without realizing their future value. Others were handed out during coin roll packaging. These few survivors are now like mythical beasts. Collectors who specialize in African currencies consider them holy grails. No one knows exactly how many exist, but experts estimate perhaps as few as 5 to 10 in some specific error categories. That level of rarity is what pushes prices into unbelievable territory. Now imagine this: a coin that originally cost 1 cent, 1 tiny cent, could pay for your entire future. Imagine the shock of someone who finds one in a box inherited from their grandparents. Imagine opening a rusty tin can, pouring out a pile of old coins, and seeing a 1970 coin with a double date or an off-center strike. Your heartbeat would spike, your hands would shake, your life would change. This isn't just money. This is generational wealth hiding inside a coin smaller than a fingernail. Some collectors describe the experience of finding a rare 1970 1 cent as the closest thing to winning the lottery without buying a ticket. Condition is another reason these coins are skyrocketing in value. Most people used the 1 cent coin heavily back then, which means most pieces today are scratched, worn, or damaged. But if someone protected a coin in a jar, kept it in a wallet without scratching it, or accidentally stored it in a dry, sealed container, the coin might remain in near-mint condition. When these rare errors appear in MS65, MS67, or MS68 grade, the value multiplies again. A small rim error in average condition might be worth $2,000, but the same coin in flawless condition could explode into $200,000, $500,000, or even over $1,000 depending on rarity. It all depends on survival. And for the 1970 1 cent, survival of rare variants is almost non-existent. Collectors are especially obsessed with a few categories of 1970 errors. Double-die obverse coins, where the date 1970 appears doubled or stretched. Off-center strikes where part of the sparrow's wing is missing. Misaligned dies that create shadowed images. Die cracks that leave lightning-like scars across the coin. Wrong planche strikes where a 1970 design is printed on a metal blank meant for another denomination. These last ones are unbelievably rare. Some experts believe fewer than 3 might exist for certain metal combinations. Those extremely rare pieces are the ones that hit million-dollar valuations instantly when they appear at private auctions. Then there are the pattern coins, the coins never meant for public use. These were early experimental designs created to test relief, texture, metal mixture, and striking pressure. They usually have a proof-like mirror shine, almost a glass reflection, and sharper details than any circulating coin. Many of these were supposed to be destroyed by the mint, yet some survived. How? No one knows for sure. Some workers in that era reportedly kept them as souvenirs, without imagining that decades later, these souvenirs would be priceless artifacts of South African minting history. Today, if one of these pattern 1970 1 cent coins surfaces, collectors don't even blink. They know the bidding will start high and end even higher. These coins are worth more than diamonds of the same size. But the scariest part of this entire story is the possibility that you, right now, might already have one of these coins without knowing it. People keep old coins everywhere. In biscuit tins, in the back of drawers, inside forgotten cabinets, mixed with foreign coins, in boxes from the 1980s and 1990s that were never cleaned out. People inherit old belongings without checking the contents. People store coins in garages, cupboards, storage rooms, and dusty wooden boxes. And inside these unexamined piles could be a 1970 1 cent worth more than your house, more than your car, more than your salary for the next 20 years. Some of the biggest discoveries in the coin world weren't made by collectors. They were made by ordinary people cleaning their homes. Nobody expects a small, reddish 1 cent coin to carry such massive value. Nobody expects a 1970 date to hide such powerful economic potential. But history doesn't care about expectations. Value doesn't care about size. And rarity doesn't care whether the coin originally cost 1 cent. What matters is survival, condition, error, and demand. The 1970 South Africa 1 cent has all 4. It is a coin born from minting chaos, protected accidentally, lost for decades, rediscovered unexpectedly, and now worshipped by collectors across the world. It is a silent symbol of how powerful rarity can be, how shocking the coin world really is, and how fortunes can hide in the tiniest objects. So the next time you see an old jar filled with coins, don't walk past it. Open it, check every date, study every detail. Use a flashlight. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Look at the rim, the sparrows, the twig, the lettering, the color. Because the difference between an ordinary 1970 1 cent and $1 million 1 cent can be a single scratch. a single misprint, a single microscopic detail that only the sharpest eyes will catch. And if you want more shocking stories, more hidden treasures, more unbelievable coin facts, and more life-changing discoveries, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video so more people can uncover the fortune hiding in their pockets.